Hey, my name's Urban Dub. I'm a drum and bass DJ, producer, drummer. I do a lot of mastering, mixing for other artists, and obviously I write my own music. So, Access Analog, they've released a mastering rig, and man, it is amazing. It's blown me away. This is like top tier, top quality. You won't get a better rig than this. We're going to be using a track of mine, Rock Solid, so it's Killer Hertz Rock Solid, and how I've used this mastering rig to add clarity, detail, loudness, and so on. On the screen, we've got the software. This software actually controls hardware, so every adjustment I do to this software, it will be adjusting real hardware in real life. So all of this is done via the internet. It's been streamed from my DAW, running through their mastering rig, in lossless quality, 48 kilohertz, 24-bit, and it's been streamed back in real time. So don't get it twisted, you're using real analog hardware, streaming from the comfort of your own studio via the internet to the Access Analog studios in Colorado. So what you can see here is the infrasonic transformers. These both have different flavors. I feel like the boost adds a bit more top end and it's a bit more perceived loudness. And as we go through the different units, you have a back EQ, so you can shelve the highs and lows. Then onto the massive passive. This is a tube-based EQ. It's got amazing character to it. When I'm mastering, especially with analog equipment, I use it for tonality. I don't tend to do too many cuts with analog equipment. I could do that with digital EQs. The real flavor with using analog gear is actually using it to boost things. Then you have the Magnum. On the left you have a compressor. I haven't used this section, but I have been using the parallel EQ. The EQ has an air band that the Mag EQ is very famous for, and I use it for a slight bit of boost on the top end, normally around 20k, but you can put it up to like 40 and it will have a perceived difference. Now this here is the Portico 2, the master bus processor. I absolutely love it. So the Portico 2 has a compressor, limiter, and stereo field editor, and it also has the famous Neve Silk circuit. I love the stereo field editor on this. You can widen the sides, boost the mids as well. So it's like a mid-side stereo enhancer that you can even route back through the compressor. It's absolutely amazing. So you've got the infrasonic treble limiter, which is like a de-esser. I've never used this before, but it sounds amazing. It's really transparent. Great to catch just some of the top end on a mix. And the last part of the chain, you have the Rupert Neve master bus converter. So this limiter I would just use to catch some peaks. You can use it instead of a software limiter. You can get tunes really loud with it, but I follow it up with a digital limiter. So let's hear the Killer Hertz track without any mastering. I'm going to bypass the analog matrix for the time being.
Rock solid.
So it's like a rock influenced drum and bass track. There's a lot of detail in the record. To get a good master, you need a good mix. So we spent a lot of time working on the mix down for this record. It could do with some more detail now. So let's go in. So engaging the plug-in. So if we go back to the infrasonic console, you can bypass each section. So you've got the transformers section, the EQ and compressor section, and then your final master bus limiter as well. So just be aware, this is mastering, so things are subtle. So if you're listening to this on a laptop, you might not hear all the detail. So it's best to get some good quality headphones or watch this run through on some studio monitors. So let's check it out with everything bypassed, and then we're going to engage the transformers, and we're just going to listen to the subtle detail that these transformers bring.
Rock solid.
Now I'm going to engage the EQ and compressor section. You'll notice a massive lift, and I'm going to go through the settings of why and how I use them.
Rock solid.
So the back EQ, I've done a tiny cut at 84 Hertz, just by ear, and then I've given it a slight boost at 7.1k. So the massive passive. I love this EQ. It's industry standard mastering EQ, one of the best on the market. So as I said earlier, I like to enhance things with analog equipment, especially EQs. The EQ's engaged. I'm going to play it with it engaged and then bypass it so you can hear the difference, and then we look at the settings.
Rock solid.
So the Manly Massive Passive brings the detail. Let's look at the settings now. Let's start at the tops because that's the most obvious. So at 5k I've created a boost, put it on a shelf, giving it a good amount of gain. Good frequencies for perceived loudness, 2 to 4K. So on this band here, I've given it a boost, a small decibel gain, and the bell's quite wide. It's giving it some perceived loudness around 2K. So I wanted to bring out the body of the snare. So boost again on a bell with quite a tight Q, and then just a small boosting gain. In the low end, I wanted to bring out the kick drum or fatten the kick drum. So again, a bell, a boost, 100 Hertz, quite a wide Q, and quite a lot of gain. All of this is done to ear. Onto the mag EQ. This section here, the mag compressor, I'm not using, and I believe this is a de-esser, which I'm not using. I've literally engaged the EQ, set the airband to 20 kilohertz, and given it a small amount of gain boost. So let's have a listen, see if you can hear the difference. It's going to be subtle, so really try and listen hard.
Rock solid.
So this is engaged. Right, let's take it out. So the Rupert Knee Portico 2, the master bus processor, it's amazing, especially the stereo field editor. I've engaged this silk function here, which is enhancing the lower harmonics, and I've used this link function here, which basically means this section controls this section, your left and right. So I don't need to worry about this, I just need to focus on this. The compressor's engaged, so I'm using it to catch a couple of peaks, nothing major. So this stereo field editor is amazing. I like boosting the higher mids, boosting the sides with this section here. I love the width this can give things. It makes things sound so expensive, and I tried it on more things like classical music and things like that, and the width you can get, it just sounds amazing. So onto the infrasonic treble limiter, so running a mix into it, just catching a tiny bit of the top end, de-essing it. It sounds great, absolutely love it. So the final section is the limiter. I just use this to catch any peaks. So you can engage the high pass filter, you've got your frequency amount here. I would leave the threshold around 0 or on 0 and use the gain to push into the limiter. You've got your release here, and yeah, I just drive into it. So there's no digital plugins that sound anything like this. This mastering rig is a game changer. The detail it's adding, the clarity, the warmth, the width is next level. So let's have another A-B.
Rock solid.
Now I'm going to tweak some of the settings. Let's see if we can get this sound even better.
Rock solid.
So this infrasonic rig is absolutely amazing. The transformer section I love. The Bax EQ is amazing. The massive passive, what an EQ. The mag, there's no digital version of this that sounds anything like this. The master bus processor for Rupert Neve, killer. The stereo field editor is absolutely amazing. This infrasonic treble limiter DSR, amazing. It's really transparent. And then you've got the master bus converter as well, Rupert Neve. The limiter's great, the sound of it's great. And also you're using top grade conversion as well, mastering grade conversion. Yeah, you're just getting full quality from amazing equipment, from amazing service. And yeah, I just can't big them up enough. Honestly, Access Analog have absolutely smashed it with this. I love everything they're doing. Love this mastering rig. I love the other services they've got to offer, the individual EQs, compressors, stuff for mixing and mastering. But this infrasonic rig is a game changer for me. I'll be using it consistently on my own music, and yeah, it's going to get an absolute battering from me. So once again, Access Analog, infrasonic mastering rig. It's real analog equipment, streamed via the internet to their studios and back in real time, so you can master your own music, and you can also check out some of their other gear as well. So yeah, this is Urban Dub. We was looking at my Killer Hertz track, Rock Solid. Yeah, using the infrasonic mastering rig by Access Analog. So go check them out. Absolute game changer. So if you've got any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll try and get back to you. And if you want to, you can like and subscribe. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you very soon. Right, big ups here. Easy.